All right, we are right at 9 a.m. Oops, we are right at 9 a.m. So we'll go ahead and get kick-started for this morning. I'll keep the room open if anybody wants to join. So welcome everyone and good morning. This is our March meetup for the Community Entrepreneurship Hour. We have been doing this since early of March last year. Can you believe it's already March 2021? It blows my mind. But we've been providing this as a platform for entrepreneurs to pitch their early stage business ideas. And really, the goal is to get feedback from the entrepreneurship community here, local as well as regionally, on their business ideas and to help them move forward. So, usually, we have two speakers. And again, today we have two awesome speakers who will be presenting their early stage business ideas. And they get about 10 minutes to do their pitch. And we encourage you to hold on to your questions, and then we open up for Q&A. We are a pretty small group, so we can just kind of shout out the answers. But and then of course at the end of the call, we will have the Arbuckle gift giveaway. So hang in there and wait till the end so we can do that quiz. Okay, so with that, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Amber Ransom. Hi, Amber. Thanks for joining. Amber is the founder of Crown Roots Custom Designs. Crown Roots Custom Designs is based in Ada, Oklahoma, and it is Black owned and created for the culture. We create custom designs, logos, and meaningful tees for our customers. So with that, Amber, I am going to let you share your screen and kick it off.
All right. Okay, sorry about that. Let me go to the front. All right, hello, how is everyone this morning? My name is Amber. I am a graphic designer and I make unique and trendy designs for professionals and for your everyday people. So I realized that there was a need for designs for equality, mental health awareness, empowerment. And so I decided to create my company, which is Crown Roots Custom Designs. And I really enjoy, I want people to feel empowered when they wear our designs. And I want our shirts to speak for themselves. So before I start, all of the pictures that you will see on these slides are designs from our company. All right, I'll introduce myself and talk about myself a little bit. Once again, like I said, my name is Amber. I graduated from East Central University with a degree in advertising and public relations. I currently work full-time at Legal Shield as a graphic designer. The reason that I really started this business was because I felt that for me as an African-American woman, I felt that there was a lack of representation via, like t-shirts, designs. I really wanted to have shirts speak for themselves and be bold and be loud. And so I wanted to create designs, that say, human and speak for equality. I have shirts for the LGBTQ community. That is really why I started this company. I just felt that there was a need to have shirts for minorities and different, communities for them to advocate and to speak with their shirt. So that is why I started it. I also wanted to have refreshing looks and feels with shirts. We have boutiques here in town, but I've wanted to bring something different to the table. I'm sorry, is all that beeping, is that bothering y'all?
Oh, sorry, that's Amber. That's probably just you're hearing that because you're a co-host.
Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't throwing off my whole presentation. Okay.
No.
But yes, I felt that there was, we need to bring more unique designs to the Ada area, and not just the Ada area, just, surrounding area states. So that's why I really started my company. So I want to get into the meaning of the company. For me, I felt that to be Black owned, I really wanted to make it a meaningful brand. So I came up with Crowned Roots. And what Crowned Roots, it has multiple meanings. For me, the first meaning for Crowned Roots is, I was raised to believe that I was a queen, that I was a Black queen, and that Black, we were kings and queens. And so I really wanted to tie that in to my brand. But not only that, I also, as you can see the picture of this woman here, my crown, my natural hair, my crown, it's my crown. And so as we can see, there's a lot of laws being passed, for Black women and hair. And so I really just wanted to tie all that in together with my brand, because I felt that if I was gonna be Black owned, I really needed to represent for my culture. Products. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about products. So we create, of course, like I said, tees, hoodies, pullovers, custom designs. We do custom orders for birthday parties or, professionals at work, churches, just anything. We provide that for customers. They can email us or DM us on our social media, which I'll get to here in a second. I also create logos for small businesses or just, professionals wanting to get started, don't really know how to do a logo, or I really help them brand their company. So I'm really excited about some of the future products that I have that'll be coming out soon. As the weather gets warmer, I plan to release, like beach towels with different designs on that, and like fanny packs, and it's just really cool. And I plan to progress, the company as the seasons go. I release new designs at the first of every month. So I wanted to do it that way so that people can, register and realize like, oh, it's the first of the month, Crowned Roots has new designs out. So the first every month, new designs. Also, let's see. The process that we use is super easy, and I will show y'all here in a second. But what they can do is I have the link on both of my social media platforms, and they will go to the link of our storefront. And in our storefront, all they have to do is pick the design that they like. There's going to be, short sleeve, long sleeve, different design shirts, different colors. There's a variety of colors that they can choose from. And all they will do, checkout size, and when they proceed to check out, it'll give them, a tracking order and all of that. That way they can keep track of their t-shirt. And the reason that I did it this way through like a storefront was just because I felt that it was the most sufficient way of getting people their shirts. Last month we had almost 60 shirts ordered. So what this company does that I use, I create the designs on the site, and what they do is they actually print the shirt designs for me, and they do all the mailing out, and all of that goes through this site, which helps me a lot. And then through the site, I can also keep track of, sales. That's how I get my money paid out to me. I can look at all the analytics, what's selling, what's the best, what's not selling. And I'm able to change out and rotate my designs throughout the store just based off those analytics. Okay, let's show you the site. Okay, so this is the website. As you can see, it's super simple. You go through, pick your design that you want. Say, I'll click this one. So as you can see, these are all of the styles that you can get in the shirt. You can pick different colors, sizes. I would add that to cart and then proceed to checkout, which I'm not gonna show all that because it has my card and all that information and address on there. But it's a super easy process that I think that is really easy for my customers, and I've heard all great things about that. So I just wanted to show y'all that. Okay, so here is my staff, and I'm so thankful for these two women. Michelle Dickerson, she is actually a teacher at Being High School, and my Ebony is actually my sister. And what they do for me is they help, come up with designs, and they're really almost like sales reps. They help me get, the word out and share through social media. And so those are my two assistants. It's just us three currently for right now, which is working perfectly fine. Marketing. So for me as a millennial, marketing is very important, but social media, I feel like, in my opinion, is the best way to get your company or your brand exposed, because a lot of people use social media, Facebook or Instagram, even like Snapchat. So we have two pages that we run our business through, which is an Instagram account and a Facebook account. And through these pages, we, host contests to get more people, into our pages. We, show all of our new releases through our websites. That is my way of marketing my business currently, is through social media, and it's worked for me very well. I really want to see other forms of maybe like marketing, but I just know that for the first month, social media and word of mouth has helped me a lot. People who, wear the shirts, they always tell me, like, I got so many compliments today. And somebody asked me, where I got my shirt design from. So those two are the ways that I market my company. Okay, so here are the two places that you can follow Crowned Roots Custom Designs, both on Facebook and on Instagram. And our email also is attached to both of those in case anybody needs to reach out and contact us for any reason. Future plans. So I would like to reach 1,000 followers on Facebook by November, and also 750 on Instagram by November. For me to set goals, it really helps me, push to reach those goals by a certain date. I would really like for this company to take off by the end of the year. And as we progress, I would like to add, come fall, hats, caps, August when school starts, backpacks. I would like to have that all by December, get it all together, but hopefully it'll happen faster. Hopefully it just takes off. And like I said, I make new releases every single month, the first of every month, sometimes in between, in the middle of the month, just, as I choose and go. And I also would like to collab with local businesses and groups. I have 3 collabs I've already started in my first month. So that was exciting. I made t-shirts for the Being Cafeteria squad. They wanted to have shirts made for them. So I designed shirts for them. And I also designed a shirt for Miss for Oklahoma, Christina Gonzalez. She wanted to do a fundraiser to, get funds for her event in Las Vegas. So I was able to design a shirt for her there. And then here is a logo, an example of a logo that I made for a lady for her small business. And yeah, that's Crowned Roots Custom Designs.
Thank you, Amber. That was awesome. So with that, we'll just open it up to Q&A. Yeah, we are a pretty small group, so please feel free to unmute yourself and shout out your question, or you can use the chat feature as well.
Hello, Amber. This is Trevor Sutton. Do you, I don't know if I didn't hear some stuff probably in your presentation, but can you talk a little bit about your competition and how you work around that?
Yes. So as we all know, there are so many people who are currently making t-shirts, like people are at their home making t-shirts with, their crickets and all that kind of stuff. So for me, for one, I have confidence in my product. So I believe that, you know, whether there's competition or not, my customers, you know, if I produce a great product, they will keep coming back. So I wanted to be different than all of the Cricut designs. So that's why the company that I use, theirs is print. I like the quality of shirts that are printed better. I think that they last longer. They're more of like a, you know, Forever 21 graphic tee style. So not a lot of people are actually having shirts printed. And so that's how I went around that.
Good morning, Amber. Kelby Owens here from REI, Oklahoma. We provide support and coaching and counseling to businesses just like yours. I have a question for you, really to help myself more than anything. We have clients like yourself that ask us sometimes about, that are in retail, clothing, apparel, that sort of thing, about using brand ambassadors, like you give them merchandise or pay them to talk about your stuff on social. Have you tried that and had any luck with that, good or bad? I'm just curious as to whether or not you've explored that. People talk about that, and I don't really have a lot of knowledge or an opinion about it, or one way or the other. Just curious.
Yes, that's actually a great question. So, like I said, we started a month ago. And so I kind of wanted to try, you know, to see what we could do in a month and how many sales, you know, we could push out in a month. But yes, I am totally for brand ambassadors. I have, you know, like I said, Miss for Oklahoma is actually one of my best friends. I consider her like a sister. She has like 10,000 followers on Instagram, right? So of course I'm going to like, hey, like, can you wear a shirt, post a picture and tag, you know, where you got this shirt at. I think it's a great way to reach not only the Ada area, because I mean, 10,000 followers, that's going to be different states, maybe heck on Instagram, it could be a different country. So I think that brand ambassadors could be really essential in your business growth. I am going to do that actually. This is the second month and I'm really strategic about what shirts I want her and other ambassadors to wear, shirts that I know that a lot of people will gravitate towards. Last month, I did a lot of like Black History shirts. So like for her, I would probably do, you know, spring shirts like football tees, you know, for like OU, OSU, stuff like that, that will reach a lot of people. So yeah, I think if you do brand ambassadors, to be selective on what type of shirt you want to reach, you know, shirts that might gravitate to more people. Because I'm aware that, you know, one, she's not African American, so I'm not going to put her, you know, in a shirt that says Black and Proud, you know, and she might not have a lot of Black followers. So I look at all of those things, like what type of followers do you have? What's their age, you know, the gender, all of that.
Well, thank you very much for your guidance and advice.
You're welcome.
Love the specificity of your target audience. You know, sometimes small businesses are very fearful to really dig down and define and clearly approach one specific target audience. So I love the bravery that you've approached that with. It's a scary thing to say, you know, I know very well who I want to serve and what I want to provide. So props to you.
Thank you. And I also want to add, I know nobody has asked this, but I want to go ahead and add it. So the shirts, when people do order shirts, I think it's important to give people an idea about how long that does take to come in. So usually when you order a shirt, it'll take about a week and a half to 2 weeks for that shirt to come in, to be printed, shipped out, and mailed. So.
Amber, you talked a little bit about expanding into new product lines. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Are you talking about like caps and hoodies? And yes. So the website that I source out through is I use it as it kind of gives me an incentive to push for sales. So the more that I create and design and sell, the more that becomes open to me through this site. So with summer coming up, I've cracked open, towels and fanny packs. There's backpacks, there's mugs, there's just phone cases, all kinds of supplies that I really could do with this company. And I think that also is unique because people who are doing t-shirts, with Cricut and stuff, they're not able to, I mean, they could make, I guess, coffee cups and stuff like that. But where it comes to like the backpacks and the beach towels and all of that stuff, I think that, and caps and hats, I think that really will give me like an edge over a lot of the competition that I might run into. So yeah, as the seasons go, like I said, I would like to have beanies for the fall and hats, for summer and the fall, and backpacks for, when school starts, and all of that, all the cool products that I can use in phone cases. So all the products.
One quick one, you compare a lot of the designs and prints to Cricut and other areas like that, and people kind of doing it DIY at home. Have you thought about talking with some of the local t-shirt printing shops and see if you can actually lower some of your overhead costs, with Teespring taking a huge percentage of it for creating those? You've got to deal with shipping and things like that too. And so it may not fully be there, but have you explored that avenue yet on getting more of a wholesale cost at the local shops?
Yes, that is a great question. So in order for me to just start this, first off, I thought, let me take this avenue, see how it works, see how it goes. Like I said, this is the first month I might pull it and do local. I know that there are local t-shirt shops. I hear there's a Black-owned one. So yes, I'm open to that. I had somebody actually reach out to me about possibly meeting with them for that. I haven't heard back from them, but yes, I am open to working locally. The only thing for me, though, personally, was the shipping and things like that. Is it going to be cheaper to ship through here, or is it going to, cost me more to ship out through here? So I still have to do my research on that. But like I said, my first month went great through this company, and I do plan to reach out and connect with some of the local shops, because not all of my clothes are local. All of my customers are local. There's customers in different states. I think it's a great idea to try to get some local. Maybe I could do a half and half type of thing, because people could get their shirts faster, honestly, if they were in Ada. Like, they wouldn't have to wait for it to get mailed in. They could go pick it up, or pick it up from me. I could drop it off, whichever way. So yeah, I have thought about doing that and talking with those companies. And if any of you work for those companies or have friends that do, then maybe we can link up for that.
Amber, I love your shirts. And as an entrepreneur, I'm always interested to see what prompted somebody to become an entrepreneur. So kind of, what's your backstory? Did you always want to be an entrepreneur, or did something happen that kind of launched you into this realm?
Yes, thank you for that question. I like to call myself a boss lady because I've always wanted to, be Black owned. That was something that was important for me, because there's not, as we know, there's not very many Black owned, especially in this area. So that was the goal. The goal at first, what really wasn't a t-shirt company, it was actually a wedding venue. I want to have a wedding venue, and I want to have that built, within next 3-4 years. So, with quarantine and COVID and being home and having time to really, think about your future, what you want to do. I already do graphic design full time. So I was like, why not create shirts that speak for the culture, that represent different people? Like I said, mental health. Teachers, I've noticed, love the shirt that says, grow positive thoughts. With like weeds growing up, like, to me, it just only made sense to use not only my voice to put onto shirts and help others use their voice, but also to give me a little bit, step in the door for my wedding venue, to work on, marketing and get all that stuff down pat and see, what it is like to have a small business. So that's really what made me want to just go ahead and go for it.
Amber, if you want to start a wedding venue, I want to help you with that, okay? As long as you do it here in Ada, Oklahoma.
Yes, my mom lives, well, she lives in Byers, which is 30 minutes away, but we have land out there. So I'll probably grow, build it about 30 minutes out of town. So basically, Ada, I would say.
That works. Let's go.
Okay.
Love to see that we're making collaborations on the call already. So we have about maybe a few more minutes. Does anybody have any more questions? Amber, oh, go ahead.
Amber, I saw that you were trying to reach 1,000 likes on Facebook and 750 follows on Instagram. What kind of routes are you taking? I know you talked about it a little bit, but what have you seen like the most results from getting that growth?
Yes. So currently in my first month, on Facebook, we've gotten almost 300. And then on Instagram, I think it's about 100, maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure. But what I've done and what's helped me to get likes is not only, how you can invite friends into the group, and then also I love contests because to me, that's the most, people like, if they can get something for free by just liking something, then they're going to do it. So the first month I've done 3 contests and that's helped me get to 300. So you kind of have to, put money out to, to receive it back in. So I love contests. I plan, like we were talking about ambassadors, having, friends, hey, shout out to Crown Roots Custom Designs for making the shirt. I got a lot of compliments on it today. Go follow and like their page. So that's like the route that I'm taking currently. If anybody has any tips on other ways to get those followers flowing in, I would be more than happy to take all that suggestion.
I was going to ask if you were doing contests and giveaways. That seems to be, I have a lot of friends that have had a lot of success doing that.
With contests. Yeah, and I'm really hoping, the reason I said by November or by December 1,000, honestly, is because, y'all, I like to think big. I really want to get OSU and OU and different team designs out, in the fall. And I'm really trying to get my hands on some game day tickets. And I'm hoping that contest will skyrocket my sales. So crossing my fingers on that.
Have you been doing any paid promotions of any of your posts to reach a larger audience? Yes,
ma'am. I actually did try the Facebook boost to see how that went. Like I said, it's only been a month in. So it's like, I think it depends on the shirt. And so I'm going to keep trying it. But I mean, like I said, my goal was I didn't even think I would reach 60, sales in the first month. I thought, people would just kind of look and navigate. So now that I've done that, I'm like, okay, now I got to start boosting. Now I got to set another goal, a higher goal because, I don't want to settle. So yes, boosting, I think will help me a lot also. And I have tried that.
Very cool and great question. So Amber, I'll ask you one more question to kind of wrap up our presentation here. What can the entrepreneurship community here of people who support business owners, what can we do to help you as you grow your business?
Oh, thank you for that question. How I can get help with growing my business, which I'm always appreciative. It's crazy how Facebook works. Like my friends people just sharing a design that they like onto their pages. Like that's how I get business because every single person has different groups of friends from different backgrounds, from different states. Like I have friends in Texas, I have, friends in California. Like those shares of just other entrepreneurs' businesses, it really does help us get the word out and get us sales. And so, yeah, just sharing, liking, commenting, all of that, word of mouth, literally, all of that helps us grow our brand.
All right. Well, thank you, Amber, so much for the presentation. We really enjoyed it. And thanks for what you're doing with your business, making a culture change here in Ada, as well as, nationally. So that's really awesome. Can we get a round of applause for Amber?
Thank you all very much.
All right, awesome. Okay, so we are ready to kick off the second part of our meetup today, and I'm very excited to introduce Ian Smith, who is the co-founder of Summit House Media. Summit House Media is a group of filmmakers and photographers based in Oklahoma with the mission of capturing meaningful, impressionable stories from both individuals and brands. Summit House Media has fully produced commercials, wedding films, mini documentaries, YouTube channels, real estate media, and music videos, as well as social media campaigns and various other creative projects. So, with that, Ian, I will let you tell us more about your business.
Thank you for the introduction. Oh, Amber, last question. Have you tried video advertising? No, I'm just kidding. Hi, I'm Ian Smith. I am the co-founder of Summit House Media. You kind of explained our goal right there, so I won't go into that. I'll give a little backstory. I'll kind of use that as a segue into the road that was starting Summit House Media. So I knew I was always interested in video production. I didn't realize just how interested I was until I started attending ECU. I started out as a psychology major, and then I switched that over to mass communications. That's when I really saw that that's what I wanted to do. So I started taking up some video and photography classes, and after some time, actually after a lot of time, I noticed that some of my classmates and professors were kind of starting to take a liking to some of my work. I think one of those professors is actually in the high season. And then after that, I started, I kind of used that energy and I started posting different videos and photographs that I had taken to my Instagram. And then from there, people started reaching out to me, and I was completely blown away that people actually wanted to pay me to use my camera. So it was, let me actually get this PowerPoint pulled up. Good, can y'all see that? So it was sometime in 2019 that one of my classmates, Gage, realized that there weren't really many people in Ada and the surrounding areas that were using filmmaking and videography, that weren't really using it the way that we would like to. Gage, who's pictured here, graduated in the spring of 2020, and right at the start of the worldwide pandemic, just really taking off in Oklahoma, we decided it was a good time to start a business. So while there were some places in Ada that can make videos for cheap, such as like Cable One or different individuals that kind of lacked the resources that we thought that we could attain, there wasn't really a next level up option of people doing it the way that we wanted to do it. We didn't really know it, but we weren't really that next level up option yet in that moment of time. At the time we started the business, we noticed there were a lot of people using very flashy, trendy effects, and we knew that wasn't what we were trying to do. We also wanted to take an artistic approach to our videos and not just spit out basic formulas as quickly as possible that were strictly informative. We noticed that most of the local television advertisements we were seeing were cheesy, just in our opinion. And while some aspects of video are subjective, like most art, there are simple things that kind of set videos apart. There are industry standards that should be upheld. And on the other end of things, there are exhausted trends. And, you know, while some videos may look cool, we thought that they could be using kind of cheap thrills. And then we thought that this then presents the possibility that while people may be entertained, the business that the video is for might not get any results from the video, or it might not make a lasting impression. Like this presentation, if I don't hurry up and get to the next slide. All in all, like in every area of business, there are different quality levels. Some people don't notice the difference in the videos, and some do. But one thing stays true, and that's videographers and filmmakers are directly responsible for a brand's image through the impression they make with the product that they create for the business. And over the past year, I believe that we have made it to that next level up that we wanted to operate at. And so over the past couple of years, we kind of developed our mission. So our mission was to provide a commercial level creative projects that told meaningful stories. We decided to approach each project with a fresh perspective, a blank canvas. And we know that every business has a unique story to tell and not just information to flash on screen. We wanted really to be enablers, and we wanted to enable these businesses to be seen as nothing less than what they were. And we didn't want to just give them kind of a flashy video like I had mentioned. We wanted to give a platform for these bigger and smaller businesses to tell their story and be heard. So as you all know, with the rise of e-commerce, the internet, local businesses are losing more and more business each season. So right at the start of our business, kind of rewinding a little bit, Gage and I, my business partner, we drove and walked around in the summer heat, going door to door, basically deciding who took the lead based on who had fewer sweat stains on their t-shirt from the summer heat, talking to business owners. And we kind of figured out that not a lot of people really had a video guy or anybody that met their advertising needs. And we realized that a lot of people weren't using social media marketing. And if they were kind of using those people like Cable One that made good videos, but weren't really, we kind of thought they were a little cheesy, basically. So at Summit House Media, telling stories and having an artistic approach were not really the only driving forces for us. We realized that people have motives for videos, and if they don't, we really encourage them to. Each video that we make has an emotion that needs to be evoked in order to have an outcome. We encourage businesses to properly use a call to action within social media posts, to funnel everything, to build captions that grab people's attention and that encourage engagement. This isn't really a specific service that we offer yet. This is more so something extra that we do with each video that we produce for businesses. Our job really isn't over when we just email the finished video. So we want the brands that hire us to really see results, and we kind of want proof of this. And we know that this can take more than just a solid video, as I just mentioned. We want assurance that our clients receive increased business and engagement. We want to know minutes watched and when people click away, as well as many other analytics. We want to be informed on how captivated our viewers are and at what point we lost their attention, so that we can kind of fix that in the future and know where we lost them. Summit House Media really thrives off seeing brands have positive results and lasting impressions from the work we do for them. So backing up a little bit to beginning of the summer, we made our Summit House Media Instagram and Facebook page. We also created our website, summithousemedia.com. That's the picture here on the left. And then here's my business partner's Instagram page on the right. So our first wave of work really came from word of mouth and Instagram follows on our personal accounts where we shared our work. After this, we began using Facebook ads and targeting certain demographics that we thought would be interested in us filming their weddings. This paid off sometimes, and others it didn't really. As we kind of narrowly defined our target audience, naturally we started finding more success with Facebook advertising. I think the two other things that have provided the most consistent workflow are word of mouth and passion projects. both are fairly close in practice. So the word of mouth, I believe, comes from both the product that we are producing and the amount of focus and passion that we show when producing each of our projects. So passion projects, and I'll use my latest one as an example, are projects that we don't really get paid anything to produce. This is our latest one. This is a music video for the band Cruise. And a lot of times, so like say for this one, we did a giveaway, we did a free music video giveaway. And through this, we filmed their video for free, but we had a lot of other bands reach out to us to film their music videos. And we also received a lot more follows and gained a lot of exposure and engagement from doing this video. But so these passion projects they really provide us an opportunity to make the video really anything that we want it. There are a lot less variables, and really the only specific goal of these projects are to fulfill the creative vision that we have. There are less limitations and guides when making these. And if we do them right, they're kind of an opportunity to showcase what you're capable of without anybody being liable and responsible but yourself. So there are a few areas of growth that Summit House Media could benefit from. At this time, I'm really the only official full-time employee of Summit House Media, although I do hire freelance creators and just different workers to handle or assist with certain jobs. My business partner, Gage Grigsby, which I mentioned earlier, he got recruited by the Chickasaw Nation. So at this stage, all he does is mainly give a second set of eyes on Summit House Media projects, kind of giving me criticism and counsel as I used to with him. So I spend a substantial amount of my time just shooting and editing video. I really prefer not to do the social media side of things, but I realize that I have to. So as we continue to grow as a business, I hope to continue shooting and editing video because that's what I'm passionate about. And passion is really at the core of Summit House Media. So with growth, Summit House Media will start with hiring a social media management position. This will be for internal, for covering all of socials for Summit House. And then eventually that'll turn into external too. And hopefully we can provide services like that and more specified services, although we already do some of that for different businesses. This position would also act as like a receptionist, handle communications and scheduling, etc. I'd like to eventually hire a full-time photographer and a graphic web designer, as well as 2 videographers. And then eventually I would like to get into where we can kind of have some student internship opportunities from the school. And this will really be based on the students' ability and really how aspirational they are, how passionate they are with the work that they do. So a short-term goal I have for Summit House Media, and probably the most immediate goal I have, is to get a storefront. I think this could really legitimize the business a little bit more. And I also think it would help a lot with advertising purposes. As far as a long-term goal, Summit House will stay based in Ada, but hopefully will be known and used statewide as the Ada Video Productions company. So when it comes to startup costs, most of that comes from production equipment. I bought my first camera from money I made at my retail job in like 2017. After that, we bought all of our equipment using money that we made with video work from 2018 to 2020 before we started the business. Gage and I kind of just took turns buying stuff, really. I would buy a camera, he'd buy a drone, I'd buy lighting equipment, he'd buy a gimbal, etc. While we do have a lot of equipment, there's always stuff we can benefit from having. There's always nicer and better equipment and more batteries and lighting equipment, and just the list goes on with this kind of line of work. So that's about it. Summit House Media hopes to be a key player in driving economic growth within the city of Ada. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to my story.
Awesome. Thank you, Ian. All right, well, we'll open it up to question and answers. We got about 10 minutes.
All right, I'll start. So, hey, Ian, this is Trevor Sutton. I know, I don't know if you remember this, right? But I think the first wedding you shot a video for our business was also doing our first gig there. So I was wondering, I know your focus kind of for the presentation, at least today, was on business, but do you still do a lot of weddings and events like that?
Yeah, we do a lot of weddings.
Okay. So another question I had on that is, are you a part of any like preferred vendor listings for venues?
Yes, but not really to my knowledge. I've had people tell me that I'm on lists, but I haven't actually like pursued that.
Okay.
You recommend do you think I've thought of that. I just haven't like taken the energy to think.
Well, so maybe that's something you and I can talk about later. And we can, I'll give you some more ideas on that anyway, what we've done with our business, and maybe we can collaborate on that.
Yeah.
But for you and Amber as well, if you have any banking needs as you think about that, if you're talking about a storefront and things like that, but deposits or loans, we'd be glad to help you here at Citizens Bank. So just reach out to me if y'all have any questions about that. But I appreciated, all the information today, Ian. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Ian, I had a question for you on your storefront. What would you do out of a storefront? Would that just be kind of more for having a presence in general, maybe some customer meetings coming in, things like that?
Yeah, customer meetings. I did want to talk a little bit more on that, so thank you for asking that question. I just didn't really know if I had time to, but there's a lot of shapes that could take, really. I need studio space. I would like to have, like you were saying, somewhere to meet and actually talk with clients, and kind of for the image side of things. And also, I'd love to just have a sign up somewhere.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and I think that could really, I would like it to be downtown, preferably Main Street. I'd take anywhere else at this stage of the business, but yeah, I mean, really office space with a little bit more room in it than a tiny office. But
downtown buildings are great for that. I was downtown for a long time when I was even just working by myself, and had a whole downtown space by myself, and had it set up really nice with a nice conference room and everything else. And it is handy to have that space, even if you're not big enough to fully occupy it.
Yeah, I agree.
Good stuff. Good luck.
Thank you.
I had a few questions. So I saw that you said that you were wanting to get, photographer and stuff like that. So for somebody like me, who is looking for somebody to shoot like mock-ups for shirts, or, just like photo shoots with people wearing my clothes and stuff like that, on your website, are you going to have, all the pricing for that? And then how are you going to, get it out there? How will I know like that you now have a photographer? That way I can reach out to you and contact you about that. So that is one question. And then the second part was, I know you said you do videography, but you don't have a warehouse yet. So I have a podcast that's also with my brand, Crowned Roots, a Black podcast that talks, about issues, of being, people getting more information on what it's like, to be Black, and in America, issues like that. So I do it via voice, but I would like to do some actual video. Where would I do that space? Would I have to find the space, or would that be something you?
That's what I would love to get to that point. I don't know. I think it'd be awesome if that was the next step for Summit House Media. I mean, ideally, I'd have a warehouse somewhere that has office space and then has a photography studio and a green screen setup and an area that we can set up different sets for podcasts. But I think at this stage, really, while I could provide kind of counsel and recommendations for space and kind of the setup or the color scheme or whatever, I don't think that at the next stage I will have a space for something like that.
All right, and on your social medias, you'll announce whenever you have all those photographers and stuff like that, so I can book with you. And
yeah, that's actually that was a question I had for you guys. So with Summit House Media, one thing we're really trying to stray away from is just base packages. Basically, we wanted to price different projects for basically just differently for everybody that we work with, because we know people have different budgets. We know projects are going to take sometimes they're going to be a lot shorter than you thought they're going to be. Sometimes there's going to be longer. We really wanted to stay honest with our packages on that. When it comes to photographers, I think we do need to get a listing. We don't have an official listing, but we do have consistent photographers that we work with, such as like Taylor Diener here in Ada or Drew Weeks. They're not official employees of Summit House, but we do a lot of work together. But as far as like pricing and packages, we really haven't nailed that down yet. And we're trying to figure out what the best approach is to that, because we don't want to just say, we'll do this product photography, $500. Okay, well, do you have 5 shirts? What do you want the backdrop to be? How much of editing do you want to go into it? So there's just so many variables, and we didn't want, mainly we didn't want on the customer end of things, we didn't want them to just pay for stuff that they don't even get, So I think the question more shaped is, how do we put that on our website? How do we put that on our socials to say that without it being so loosely based and loosely defined, as I just put it?
thank you.
Ian, I've got a quick question. And I really appreciate the presentation. You mentioned that you were planning to stay in Ada, and as an economic developer, I would love to know what about Ada is influencing that decision, and what about Ada would help make it easier or a better decision for you to keep your business here?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, right off the bat, I've got the baseline thing is I've got a lot of family here. I went to college here, graduated here. And then I really like the size of Ada, and some people have convinced me that it's growing. Some people have convinced me that it's not. I like to think that it's going in the right direction, that it's growing. And then I think if we can continue to get the support from the community and kind of the acknowledgement, I think there is a big enough base here for us to stay here, as long as we can kind of stay affordable and reach out, far enough within the state that we can have consistent workflow. As far as, what was the second part of your question? Sorry.
So, and I could probably do a better job of framing it. Really, I'd like to know, is there something that would make you, feel good about keeping your business here? Is there something maybe that could be done, or something that could be improved, or something that could change?
I don't know if there's an exact one thing that could be changed. I think as long as I think as long as ADA keeps heading in the direction, it keeps kind of advancing and gets a little bit caught up when it comes to social media marketing and advertising and video advertisements and different promotions like that. Like I mentioned, when we went kind of door to door asking people, it's just people don't use it. And we think a big reason that we want to stay based here is we think that it can help a lot of it. We think that it can help Main Street. You know, we think that we can help people bring a lot of business back to Ada instead of people driving to Norman or OKC or so. I think, I don't know a direct thing that could help us in that way. I'll think on that. That's a really good question.
Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks for that question, Jim. And we definitely want to, keep continuing this conversation. I'll be sending a follow-up email after this call. We'll attach the emails of our speakers today. We are also active on Slack. So that's a platform for you to communicate with speakers and people on the call today. So with that, can we have a round of applause for Ian, please? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the work you're doing. Okay, with that, I want to jump into our quiz giveaway. And Ian, if you don't mind, stop sharing your screen. We can kind of get everyone back. Okay, so how this works is that I put in the chat a question based from from what we heard in the presentations today. And the first person to respond via chat gets to win a $10 Arbuckle gift card giveaway. And we've been having great competition here between some of our, veteran audience who's been attending. So, all right, the first question is, Crown Roots Design aims to get this number of likes on Facebook. Dr. Bolin got it, 1,000. Yes, perfect. Congratulations. And okay, the second question. Let me pick a little harder one this time. And this is from Ian's presentation. And by the way, speakers are allowed to participate, not in your question, but the other one. So Amber, you're on for this. Okay, so what is an immediate short-term goal for Summit House Media? Close enough. It was the one he mentioned that he is immediately looking for the next thing. And we talked about this. All right, so I'm gonna give this to Trevor because he is right. We did have what did you mention? Internship as one of his growth goals. So congratulations, Dr. Bolin and Trevor. We will be getting your Arbuckle gift cards pretty soon. And again, thank you all for joining us. We are excited that we are slowly growing this group, and we are excited to see you every month. We will be back again next month in April. If you know of any speakers who would be great presenters for this meetup, definitely contact us and we would love to feature them. So with that, have a great day and thank you all for joining again.
Hey, Ian, it's Kelby here from REI Oklahoma. If you have just a second, as everyone steps away, I just wanted to share a little tip with you. I'm not affiliated